What's up, my dudes? Eli Tomac gonna be splitting ways with Kawasaki. Had to come in here and make a video on this one at least. So, dude, I've been hearing rumors about Tomac and Kawasaki for like 5 or 6 months now, right? I had dudes telling me, oh, hey, Spencer, this was like 4 or 5 months ago. Dudes was sending me DMs on Instagram like, oh, hey, Spencer, Tomac, he's going to continue to be on Kawasaki. He signed another extension for another 2 years and all this random shit. You know, I've been hearing a lot of different rumors on Tomac for a while now. So I didn't really make any videos on it just because it didn't have a lot of truth behind it, really, a lot of believability behind it. But now we finally have some breakthrough Tomac rumor information that has come out. I think Kawasaki finally did officially come out and say that they will be ending their partnership with Tomac at the end of the outdoor season. So they're still going to run all of the 2021 outdoor season. And then Tomac's going to go to something else. This all kind of got sparked up. I saw, on a bunch of these different motocross news outlets, Tomac going to Star Yamaha, that was kind of the start of it. But the reason why I didn't just jump right on that and make a video on it was because, you hear a lot of these rumors, you hear a lot of this stuff, and like I'm saying, there was literally people telling me that Tomac had signed another 2 years with Kawasaki just a couple months ago. So I have to be real careful in what I believe and what I make videos on because, you don't want to get into that just talking about a bunch of rumor type bullshit, right? Now, I don't know if it 100% has been confirmed that he's going to Star Yamaha. I haven't looked into it to that extent. I do know it is confirmed that he's going to be parting ways with Kawasaki after the outdoor series this year, but I don't know about the whole Star Yamaha thing. Dude, I tell you what, Star Yamaha they're taking over right now, dog. They've already took over the 250 class. They're making Pro Circuit look like they don't even know what they're doing right now. They've basically been making them look like that for the past 5 years, Them Star Yamaha 250, man, that thing's been big hossing for like ever since they came out with that new bike style back in like 2014, 2015. Jeremy Martin won 2 outdoor titles on it, and then Cooper Webb won 2 Supercross titles on it. Plessinger won a Supercross title on it, and now we've got Colt Nichols and Justin Cooper both winning it, taking over the entire 250 class. Both them guys winning the 2 different 250 Supercross titles in the same year. We've got Ferrandis that won it on the 250. Man, I mean, it's pretty much been like a Yamaha wins on the 2... Oh, and Webb got the 250 outdoor title 1 year on it, I think. And then Plessinger got the 250 outdoor title on it too. So, pretty much the Star Yamaha is going to win some kind of 250 title, whether it's one of the Supercrosses or the outdoor title. They've pretty much done that every single year since like 2014 or 2015. But so it gives you a little more, if Tomac is going to go down the road of going to Star Yamaha, it's going to give a little more comfortability to it because they really are starting to become a powerhouse team like Pro Circuit Kawasaki or Monster Energy Kawasaki, starting to kind of get on the same level, Now Monster has went to the Yamaha bikes as well, so it's, Monster Energy Kawasaki, it's Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha, So they're both kind of starting to become the dominant. I don't really look at any of them as being better than the other. It's kind of like Kawasaki was better like 6, 7 plus years ago. Now, Yamaha's really hitting their stride right now, and then it may change and then go back to Kawasaki hitting their stride. I don't really know, but as far as Tomac specifically, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that he would end this thing with Kawasaki this close to the end of his career. The fact that, I mean, Tomac's getting up there in age, man. Like, what is he now? 28, 29? I don't even know. But you know, he's starting to get up there in that age, man, where it's, you know, you start kind of going over the hill of your prime, you know. We kind of saw it happen to Reed, saw it happen to a bunch of these guys where they kind of hit that certain age range, and then it, you know, not as wicked as they used to be. And I already thought we was kind of starting to see a little bit of that out of Tomac, even on Kawasaki. But, you know, he's just been so dialed in on that bike for so many years. Just won the Supercross title on it last year. It's kind of crazy to think that he's just going to go to a whole new team, have to learn a whole new bike, learn a whole new program. It makes a big difference, man. The bike and the setups and the you know, every little aspect of the bike, you know, chassis, triple clamp, you know how the Yamahas are a little bit different with the engine, tilt and all that shit than some of the other manufactured bikes. They're all different in a certain way, obviously, except KTM, Husqvarna, and Gas. Oh, man, Spency boy with the jokes out here. But, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see Tomac on a blue bike. I guess technically a black bike. I don't know what the hell Yamaha's doing, but I feel like those Yamahas look so much better, like pre-2018, pre the whole, like, where they started trying to make the bikes black and the rims blue and all that shit. I wasn't really the biggest fan of that. I thought they looked way better back in the days of when Webb was winning the 250 title on it and shit like that. But yeah. They got Jeremy Martin back on the Star 250. So it's interesting to see all this, and it'll be interesting to see Tomac, you know, with him going in there and riding with all the other Star guys, instead of it just being like Tomac and Cianciarulo, and they're both kind of doing their own thing. You know, Tomac in Colorado, Cianciarulo in Florida. I don't know if Tomac's going to, like, go to wherever the hell, you know, the main Star Yamaha test track and stuff like that is. I think didn't they buy Ricky Carmichael's place? Pretty sure they bought the goat farm. But, you know, either way, it'll be Tomac, you know, constantly going against Plessinger, Ferrandis, Jeremy Martin, Colt Nichols, all these guys. You know, if they could all ride together, that'd be pretty beneficial for all of them, I would believe. But yeah, Star Yamaha is starting to make a force to be reckoned with now. I mean, for anybody to just be willing to leave Kawasaki on the 450 to go to something else, that's pretty big. That's pretty big, man. You don't see that happen very often. You know, a lot of people would consider Kawasaki to be pretty much the premium when it comes to Supercross, at least for team-wise, you know what I'm saying? So, not really sure who's going to take Tomac's place. I know there was kind of some talks about Anderson going somewhere else. There were some talks about Musquin going somewhere else. I'm not really sure, you know, how all that's going to crumble. But I don't know if there's really any 250 guys coming up right now. I don't really think so. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes down, but I just don't know what's going to happen as far as Tomac's future, you know, if he's really going to be able to do it like he did it on that Kawasaki. I mean, let's just keep it real. Tomac was the fastest guy out there, has been the fastest guy out there for the past, like, 4 or 5 years, excluding this past year. Something weird was going on with him. I don't really know what the deal was. Don't know if it's the bike or what, but, you know, good old Slomac. Spency boy with the jokes out here again, and a bunch of the Tomac's fans got a little pissed at that. But, you know, Tomac's certainly been off of his A game this year. I mean, there's really no doubt about it. He's just not riding anywhere near like he was the previous 4 years before that. He's just not on that, like, super level like he was on before. He had a couple of good, decent rides this year, but I love when everybody thought, I say everybody, when all the Tomac super fans thought, oh, Spencer, Tomac won Daytona, dude. He's like so great. He's so amazing this year. He's going to blow him out of the water. And then he continued with his weird-ass, mediocre, terrible starts. Can't really catch up to the front like he has been doing. And he did that for the rest of the season. So, no, Tomac's not just as wicked as he was before. Just because he won Daytona, he's still off. There was just something off. So maybe it was the change that he needed. Maybe this is going to be the change that he's needed to get away from Kawasaki. But at the same time, though, you got to understand, like, he's only got 2, 3, 4 more years of really realistically of even remotely being able to really compete at that top level of AMA Supercross or AMA Motocross. He's really only got 2 or 3 or 4 more years of that, man. And then it starts going downhill pretty quick, you know. Once you get up in your 30s, starts going downhill pretty quick. I mean, Reed was like one of the only kind of guys that really was winning races, you know, way up there in age like that. I know a couple guys have done it in outdoors and shit, but Reed's really the main one that's only done it. It's pretty hard to do that, man. I think Wyndham might have done it a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a learning process for Tomac, though, because that is really what made Tomac come into his own on the 450. In the 450 class, was going to that Monster Energy Kawasaki. I mean, it would have been like if Villopoto would have won all 4 of them Supercross titles and then said, I'm going to go to another team. You know, I guarantee you it wouldn't have been the same Villopoto on whatever new team he had went to, right? But he retired. He didn't go to a new team. He just went ahead and retired. So we didn't get to see it, you know. But you know, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, Tomac, you know, he really started making it happen on that Kawasaki 450 specifically. So I just don't think there's any way you're going to see that same 2017 to 2019 Eli Tomac, or 2017 to 2020 Eli Tomac, like, on a different bike. I don't know. Maybe he'll be able to do it. I don't know. But that's some high hopes, though, man, because for you to be on the level that Tomac was on, I mean, he was on another level than everybody else and has been for a while now. You even heard it out of James Stewart. He should be winning every single race. I don't know if Tomac is going to still be able to keep that, you know, super level going to another bike. He'll still be good. He'll still be competitive, but I don't know if he's going to be that, you know, absolute rocket ship level come back from dead last. I just don't, or you know, I just don't know if he's gonna be able to do that. You know what I mean? But we'll see, man. We'll see where he goes. I don't really think there's a whole lot of spots on any other teams. It would have to take like somebody switching around or somebody retiring or something, somebody getting kicked off of one of the other bigger teams for him to really go anywhere else, it seems as if. So, but Star Yamaha's got a bunch of 250 guys. They got a bunch of 450 guys, so it wouldn't be that crazy for them to just add on another guy onto their team. And I don't really know specifically why Tomac and Kawasaki are splitting ways. I don't know if it's like just kind of like a money thing, or if it's like Tomac feels like he needs something different, or it's just kind of, you know, the team's ran its course. Is going to be their 5th year that they've been together. Sometimes it's just kind of gets to that point. But what I will say is it's going to make all the more sense Tomac going to Star Yamaha because of Star Yamaha doing so good in the 250 class. It would make sense that they could now afford to have somebody like Tomac on their team finally. You know, it all kind of makes sense, like that's where Tomac would be going. And it just makes sense also because they've been doing so good in the 250 class. They're getting all that more support. They're getting guys, they just started up the 450 class, and some of their dudes on the 450 been doing pretty good. So Tomac might have looked at that like, hey, I could probably ride that bike pretty good. You know, I could probably do something on that bike. Just seeing how good that Plessinger was on it and how much better, well, Plessinger, obviously, and then Stewart had a couple decent moments on it as well. And it's just their first year back on the Star 450 bike. So I definitely think this Star Yamaha 450 team / bike is better than the previous Yamaha 450 team that we had, that Webb was on, that did so terrible on, and that Plessinger used to be on and could never do anything. You know, the one that Reed was on there at the very end. It just didn't seem like any of those guys. I think Barsha was on it for a minute. It just didn't seem like any of those guys could do very good on it for some reason. But I guarantee you, if you put Barsha on a Star Yamaha, or you put, you know, any of those guys, Webb on a Star Yamaha, 450, right? Oh my gosh. That would be, I guarantee you they'd look like completely different riders, because I know Plessinger looks like a completely different rider on it for sure. Either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.